Vegas, Andrew. You know what? I booked it on LasVegasDiscount.net. That's a really funny joke.
Oh, Lee. So everything was done here, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to drive to Vegas and then rent a car while I'm in Vegas.
Yeah.
So here's what it is. We are an affiliate to Vegas.com. That's the actual website. If you type in LasVegasDiscount.net, it doesn't change. You're not getting overcharged. Same prices on Vegas.com that you would get on LasVegasDiscount.net, except we get a kickback for the show, which helps pay to produce this show and all the other shows on on Perfect Blue Studios. I was doing one of the other shows the other day, and I guess the particular co-host didn't want to end the show. And he's like, "Why don't you talk about all the other shows on Perfect Blue Studios?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to. I can't believe half the shows that we produce. I think it's ridiculous. But if you're listening and you want to see all the shows that we produce with all the variable hosts, we have Perfect Blue Studios. Somehow Bobby has talked me into doing Challenge the Narrative, which is I'll say it. At points, it's basically a conspiracy theory show. Or it's well, you follow him. You know what I mean. It's Bobby's view of politics and the world, and it's very interesting. Very interesting show. It's called Challenge the Narrative. If you're somebody who doesn't drink or do drugs and you're a part of a 12-step program, we have one of those. Why? Because it pisses off somebody I know who does one of those shows. That's actually a cult hit for Perfect Blue Studios, Andrew. And if anybody's interested, all you got to do is type in Perfect Blue Studios, and you can check out these shows. Those are the 3 that are currently in production, unless you're in real estate. Then you can listen to the Honish Report. Yes, my day job is one of the top marketing guys in the wonderful world of real estate that I've done for over 30 years. I've only been doing this particular broadcast for 11. Do the math, people. I needed a hobby on the weekends. All right.
That's a long commercial.
Well, here's why, Andrew. You only gave me 3 freaking stories for the news cap. And I got another half hour. 3 stories are not going to fill a half hour. I mean, I realize that you saved the best for last, which are Deontay Wilder quotes, which in and of itself is probably a half hour. I would agree. But these first 3 stories, they're going to take about 10 minutes. The first one, right out of the gate. Are there really talks? Is this really happening? Dana White, UFC president Dana White, has said, he has made it very clear, the Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor rematch would only take place under MMA rules. Last week, Mayweather has been making social media posts attempting to get fans all riled up. In 2 videos, the barefoot Mayweather is entering an octagon cage, which he went over to the UFC Performing Center and shot those videos. No shit. Mayweather also posted a photo where he's wearing an MMA-style TMT branded glove. Mayweather's snapped a 2-year retirement when he fought McGregor. Blah, blah, blah. The talks have been going on. According to Dana White, obviously the only way we're making this fight again makes any sense is if it comes over to the octagon, White said. We went over and boxed him, the UFC, and Conor McGregor, and now it's time for him to reciprocate to come fight in the octagon. Floyd said leading up to the fight with Conor that he would do both, so we'll see what happens. I take that as... Look, I've said this. You offer this guy $250 million guaranteed cash, he's getting in a cage. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
He'll do it without even... He'll laugh.
I think I said that during the first boxing match,
right.
Lee.
He's going to laugh as he enters the cage.
Look at last night, Floyd released another picture of him him photoshopped in throwing an elbow in the octagon. McGregor responded with, "This is what a real elbow in a real fight looks like."
Okay, let's hypothetically say that this fight goes off in October, November, December. Okay.
They already have it scheduled in Las Vegas. You can place odds right now for December 31st.
Okay,
Lee.
December
T-Mobile.
31st. Okay, so they're going to make it the year-end UFC show. That's what it would be.
That's what it would be. Yes, sir.
In that time span, there's only one thing that Floyd can actually learn to be in the octagon and do. And for those of you who know nothing about fighting in the cage, there are many phases to the fight. I would recommend Googling John Donner's interview with Joe Rogan where he explains cage fighting. He's the guy who trained George St. Pierre. Now, the reason I'm pointing that out, in 6 months, you can probably learn basic takedowns and basic jiu-jitsu if you're training 5 days a week in 6 months. Like you could probably get your first, maybe even second stripe, which is pretty good. But what you can also learn in 6 months, if you brought in a wrestling coach, is how to defend a takedown. Now, if he spends 6 months defending takedowns so that it remains a stand-up fight like so many fights in the octagon are, I like his chances a lot if he actually trains that. If he learns how to defend a takedown, he's dangerous, officially, in a cage. Feedback?
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
And in 6 months, and I'll say this for those of you who know nothing about wrestling, okay? One specific skill is, like, the only skill that matters in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, really in mixed martial arts, is the takedown. The reason for that is Floyd on his back becomes way less dangerous. Like, remarkably less dangerous. Like, I'm not afraid of Floyd if he's on his back. It removes all of his kinetic. Right.
Of course, Lee.
And if you can get past his
legs.
He's
not a ground fighter.
He's not at all. Nobody is. Right. Why did the Brazilians pick putting someone on the ground? Because you can't get punched on the ground. Nobody can throw a punch from the ground that can hurt
Floyd's best move, if you get taken down, is to hold on for dear life, Lee, and make sure they call.
What I honestly think in Floyd's case, in 6 months,
hold on.
In 6 months, you could learn how to defend a takedown.
That doesn't. I get that, but if it does happen, you fucking wrap that dude and you don't let go.
Right.
You do not let go. You are not trying to be on the ground at all. Let the crowd laugh. Let everybody laugh. But when they say break, now it's back to your fight.
Right. When they call it a stall, wait until they separate you and stand you back up again. And
that's
go
all
back to
you
your
can
punching.
do.
Right. I agree. I think it's at least a visually pleasing fight. Do I think Conor wins? Yeah. But it doesn't go against...
Lee, this is the biggest thing that's going to be ever for combat sports if this is made. Look, the MMA is a worldwide sport. Boxing's a worldwide sport. Both names are worldwide. We've seen what they did on the internet with the pirating. 100 million fucking people out there were streaming this thing.
Oh, I'm with Oscar De La Hoya on this one. I'm paying money for that one.
And
fucking New Year's Eve in Vegas. Fuck yeah.
There are a lot of flaws when you even watch Conor McGregor in the cage. He extends his hands out. He leaves his chin high. Boxers, they see these things, Lee, and I think they might go in with a little bit too much confidence. Now, I hope what you're saying is true, that Floyd is bringing in the groundwork, but something just tells me with the price that they're going to throw at him, he goes there and he tries to lay his hands on him.
Do I expect Floyd to actually train 5 days a week and actually get a skill? No. He's not going out to New York and training with the best guys. He's not looking for Enzo Gracie or John Danaher. He's not looking for those guys at all. And when I say this,
too big for that.
There are so many amazing gyms he could train at, being Floyd Mayweather, that would, like, he could go out to, he could go to New Mexico. Jackson would teach. Like, they want the prestige of having Floyd in their gym. They do it for free.
You also cannot be surprised if that bell rings, Lee, and he is backpedaling for 5 rounds, literally smiling. He's not going to fight 5 full.
It would be 3 rounds. It would be 3 5-minute rounds.
All right, 3 rounds, and that's oh my God.
That's a cakewalk for him.
Yeah, Lee, come on. He is not going to get caught. Yeah, I've always talked about the reflexes of these men. These guys bounce around the ring. They're described like rabbits. You know what I'm saying? Floyd's going to be in and out, laughing, just throwing a jab, trying to just score with the jab and not get touched. We know. Lee, I promise you, McGregor cannot touch this guy when he's 100% confident in the striking. When Floyd is in his game, McGregor won't be able to hit him. So the only thing McGregor can do is bull rush him, get him to the cage, maybe throw a high kick. But Lee, if Floyd's
he could dirty box him. He could cage fight him. He could pull.
He's got to bull rush him though.
Yeah,
and what is that? What does that leave Floyd? Jab right, duck, you're out. Right. Jab right, backs.
You still gotta get hands on him.
You gotta catch this little dude. And his hands are fast, Lee. They're the fastest McGregor's ever seen.
Are you talking yourself into Floyd winning in a cage?
No. No, but don't give me good underdog numbers because I love.
Oh, you give me 5 or 10 to 1 on Floyd. I'll
put $1,000 on that shit, Lee. I'm dead.
I think you have to, and much like the reason why I bet on Tom Brady, he wins. Like you always bet on the guy who wins. You give me minus 185 to take the Patriots. Like you got to bet that.
Well, everyone sort of did. Vegas lost
everybody bet on Philadelphia and the overs.
I'm just saying they lost their ass that day, but it's not like the odds went to even.
No, but it was close. I mean, they really tried to get the betting going on New England. Look, and if all the money keeps going on Connor, right? Those numbers keep going.
Oh, they're going to get good.
Right? If those odds get crazy, where you're at 12 to 1, 15 to 1.
You have to think when this fight gets signed how much shit Floyd's going to hear from the media world. Just think of the mainstream media, how UFC-driven those guys are.
Here's the only way that he takes this fight, and I don't know how it's going to work out. As long as it doesn't affect his boxing record, I think he does it.
Of course. How is it? This is not a boxing. No,
right.
It doesn't affect the record at all. And matter of fact, let me tell you something. I think Floyd gets even more respect from the boxing world for doing this. Just like McGregor got for coming over. I think at the end of the day, when you're talking about Floyd's legacy, not only did he do it his way in boxing, but he did transition over and attempt to fight the face of the MMA world. If it's a real fight, if it's a good fight, both men are hurt, bleeding or whatever, I mean, he only gets credit for all of this. So, no, it's
a circus, and it'll be fun to watch.
It's a circus, but they're still fighting. In that boxing match,
and
McGregor
you still won't be allowed to go to Vegas because you have too many
brain
kids.
Damage.
I mean, most importantly, are you selling your timeshare yet?
No. Why would I sell my timeshare?
Because you're never coming to Vegas again.
It doesn't. Oh, well, Don't hold. We'll see. We will see, Lee. We will see.
I'm waiting for. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. I know. That'll be off the record, sir. Off the record.
Stevenson Jack to take place May 19th in Montreal's Bell Center. Promoter Yvonne Mitchell announced Thursday that May 19th light heavyweight title bout between champion Adonis Stevenson and challenger Badou Jack will take place at the Bell Center in Montreal. I don't even have to look at the bottom. And be televised on HBO. No shit. This is not even pay-per-view. The 40-year-old Stevenson, who's 29, 1, and 24, will make his 9th defense of the WBC 175-pound championship against Las Vegas' own Badou Jack, 22 and 1, with 2 no decisions and 13 KO. The former WBC super middleweight champ and ex-WBA light heavyweight title holder. Bernard Barre, Vice President of Operations for the Yvonne Mitchell Group, said in a press release, Stevenson could make history in Canadian boxing by equaling the mark of Lucien Boutte with a 9th successful defense of the world title. Jack should stay away from the terrifying Stevenson left. Yeah. I'm not excited about the fight, Andrew.
You should
Badou Jack has not ever demonstrated any kind of power. He's been in some of the dullest fights ever.
No, he hasn't. Lee, you don't know who Badou Jack is then. This is one of the most underrated fighters in the game right now. Let me drop some names on you in his last few.
Badou Jack bandwagon for a while.
Nathan Cleverly, ex-champ. James DeGale, champ. Lucien Boutte, ex-champ. George Groves didn't win the belt. I think he fought Froch twice for the title, didn't win it, but he beat him in a title defense. Anthony Durrell, undefeated, beat for the belt. And Badou Jack is one of the heaviest workers right now for the American side of boxing. After this fight, if he is to go to Canada, and defeat Adonis Stevenson. Lee, did you see who's airing this fight? HBO. Did you see what division this is? The light heavyweights.
Yeah.
Who do you think they're going to